Welcome back, everyone, to episode 9 of the 4X Alchemist full game commentary. I'm David, playing the Cravers, and let's get into the game. We're on turn 81. We have just started our war with Lumeris down here, and are hoping to keep expanding our empire, taking control of the inner ring of our donut-shaped galaxy. We also have fleets on our way. They've just arrived here at Lyra. And we're going to also be expanding and making a foothold into the outer ring by going through the Horatio over here. And in order to do that, we'll declare our war. Well, okay. So hopefully you guys can hear the game sounds a little bit better. I tried to incorporate them into this video. Looks like we have a whole bunch of shorts, so they're all missileers, which is good for us because we just switched to short ourselves. So we're going to switch over to turtle and make sure that they don't have a, see how they're distributing their stuff. I think we're just going to sack Flotilla 3 and just close on them as quickly as possible, just so that, you know, in the third phase, no matter what, all of our ships will... I take that back. This is a terrible idea. The bonuses you get from having ships in all of your flotillas are just too strong to give away. Alright, so I think we're going to do a distribution like that. And we'll do the fight. Oh, I forgot to turn off watch, but we can watch this one anyways. Alright, so they did a pretty stupid move picking turtle, because that means that they're not going to be able to get to use their missiles in flotillas 1 and 2. So again, we're going to go to the overview camera, because I think this is the most useful and illustrative. So you can see we have flotilla 1 and 2 both starting at close range, and then flotilla 3 staying at medium range the whole time. And you're going to see that their ships over here are really not going to be able to do anything because you can't fire missiles at close range, but these guys are going to be shooting back and forth. Alright, so let's, since I didn't mean to do this to begin with, so we're just going to watch this at double speed. You can see that, yep, so these guys start at close range. These guys are going to be sending some missiles over our way, it looks like, but really they're not going to be able to do all that much, and are just kind of going to get shot to pieces. You can see every once in a while they'll be firing out some missiles that will immediately get destroyed by our projectile guns, but yeah, not a great battle card strategy. And so this actually well illustrates the importance of battle cards, because, you know, I had probably about 60-30 power, but they did literally 0 damage to these two flotillas simply because they chose a battle card that didn't allow them to use their weapons. So that really illustrates why picking a battle card is so important. If I had been over here and he'd been over here, and I picked this, you know, even if we had switched positions, like, so if I used only missiles but still picked turtle, I would have been destroyed and he would have been fine. And so that really illustrates the importance of picking your battle cards and understanding this, this battle system. And again, this illustrates that Flotilla 1 can never attack ships in Flotilla 3. It's only adjacent flotillas. So putting heavy emphasis on Flotilla 2 is pretty common and a good idea, because if you can take out the enemy Flotilla 2, that means those guys have access to both of the other ones and can support both the other flotillas. Alright, so we got a decisive victory, as expected. Go away. Yeah, so you can see that if we go to the advanced details, they did almost no damage. Yep, almost no damage. Simply because they picked to close into close range when they're completely missile focused. In addition, I have a whole bunch of kinetic guns, and that shot down any missiles that they would have been able to send at me, kind of before they hit me and did damage. Alright, so Horatio, you're pretty stupid. Not very impressed. Alright, so we have this guy exploring. I'm going to turn my volume down a little bit. Hopefully this game volume isn't too loud for you guys. I'm going to be, you know, if it is, sorry, kind of. I was going to do a kind of a sound test, a sound check, but I forgot before getting into this game. And if I redid the video now, I would have to go back and restart this this whole phase. Okay, so I'll fix it in the next video. Hopefully it's not too annoying. Alright, so we got some guys. We'll set up the defense there. We will, I think, end our turn. Yep. What's this guy doing? Still building that stuff. Okay. So we have a quest here. Alright. New battle slots. Nice. Alright, so now we just got 2 more CP for our ships, or for our fleets. We got our second trade company, which is great. Yep, so now we have 20 slots. So I'm not sure why, but when you get that one, I keep clicking the wrong one. When you get this, it says that it's giving you only 2 hull points, but it's actually giving you 8. And so I don't know why it says 2. It might be a bug, but I think it's supposed to be 8. It makes sense to me that it's 8. But anyway, so now our fleets are going to be huge. You know, like absolutely huge compared to our enemies. So you can see we can have up to 20 CP, and they can only have 10. So we have double the CP of our enemies, which is grand. It also means that we can start slotting in some of our carrier class ships well, and really start making use of them. Hello. There we go. So in order to unlock them, I'm going to grab Extreme Composites so we can upgrade our Wasp and Hornet class ships. And I might grab some of these guys as well, since, you know, our research is pretty good. Really diversifying our ships now that we have the CP to play around with it. And then I'll head up into our carrier classes. Let's see, anything? Yeah, so before you can really utilize this stuff, you really need to get the exploitations first, so we're just going to kind of leave those alone for now. Okay. So, speaking of which, did we ever change our drones? We did. Okay, yes, so these guys are really, really strong, but we never upgraded their armor, which is pretty dumb. So these are our defensive class ships. So hopefully, increase flotilla crew destruction. So hopefully, let's see, and we're going to do repair bots. If you've watched my video on the Riftborn, I talk about the importance of diversifying your fleet, and these guys are our tanks. They absorb a whole bunch of damage, and also increase the speed of our ships, of our fleets. And since they're being the they're the ones responsible for absorbing all the damage, we're giving them these repair modules in order to do it better. So that once they take all the damage, then they get to repair themselves by 15% after the battle. And those are those will eventually be replaced as soon as we get adamantium exploitation with these down here, which repaired your entire fleet by a percentage of their health. And this is what I was talking about at the very early game, when we decided to grab these shields, these infinity shields, instead of getting the bonus general, and that this health percentage, which, you know, scales, so we're getting 60% health bonus here. So this health bonus scales with our healing bonus that we're going to be getting later on. So really, really, really strong. And that's why I made that choice all the way back in whatever it was, like episode 1. So now that is really going to start paying off. Or hopefully that will start paying off. Alright, so we're just doing some updates to our armor. It looks like we haven't done it in a while, which is a little bit unfortunate, but not the biggest of deals. I think we just did the Mantis upgrade, didn't we? Yes, we did. Okay. So, I'm gonna sneeze, excuse me. Okay. Alrighty. Yes, we need to clear these last ships out before we can actually start our invasion, which is fine. Unfortunately, my termites, this fleet of termites got here before my actual ships, which is really, really annoying. Which means that they got sent back because I had to retreat, and now they have to come back down, so my Lumeris invasion is being significantly delayed. But yeah, so now you can see with a full 20 fleet ship, 20 CP fleet, my power is at about 5,500 compared to theirs, which is at a measly 300. So that's kind of the snowballing power of CP, is that everything gets amplified. Any advantage that you have gets multiplied. Like if you have slightly better weapons or whatever, having extra CP means more ships, so that extra power gets multiplied. Alright, I think that's going to be the end of the turn. This is irritating. I'm really kind of annoyed. This is the second time that's happened on this front of the war. Fortunately, this is a really easy jump to their capital. Alright, Ita, you are losing people for some reason. There we go. It's because we had a Craver come in for no reason. I refuse your offer of truce. So they went to mutinous and lost a person. Not the end of the world, definitely annoying. Okay, so we just started upgrading to level 3 people, level 3 colonies, so let's pretty much do it in the rank of importance based on population levels. Because since we're getting bonuses per population in food and influence, we really just want to do it where we have the most people. Alright, we got our new trade company, so let's do some investments into them, getting them leveling up a little bit faster. Selling our useless luxury resources, making a little bit more money, and again, reinvesting that into our trade companies. Okay. Yeah, fortunately, this whole inner ring is really well connected. So by the time we have our third trade colony unlocked, we'll probably throw it down here in the Lumeris capital. And that will be really nice for our industry, or our economy. Alright, just grabbing this extra industry here, probably extra industry here, yep. Really just, these are my governors, really just need them cranking stuff out. Alright, we've got reinforcements arriving here. Stuff happening at Virgo. Okay. That's actually looking like might be a nice place. Got a tundra. Wow, lots and lots of anomalies. Interesting. We'll just have him retreat for now. Go back to Lechem and send out some probes down here to see what's up. Alright, let's do our battles. So we can grab these guys and put them in, slot them in. Do our battle. Oh wow, so these guys, so his revealers don't have any weapons, and then once again, he's all short range. So we're just going to do power to the shields. I don't know why it keeps doing that. Oh, because these guys are optimal at medium and short range, but if he wants to close on me, let him come. Alright, so we're just going to do it kind of like this. Actually, since he only has one fleet, we're just going to bring all of these guys over here and just leave our missileers kind of on the sides. So we'll keep hornets and mantises in the middle and send wasps to the outside. Or, you know, our wasp twos. Or no, we'll just keep all of our wasps on the outside. Might as well. Okay, and then we'll bring our drone in here. Okay, I think that's going to be the correct way. We don't really need to watch this slaughter. Yeah, he's just going to run away anyways. Okay. So we have 5 more dudes over here. They are Hornets, but let's upgrade them to the Hornet 3s and 4s. Yeah. So if you remember correctly, our Hornets are our short-range defense ships, equipped with beams, and our Wasps are our anti-missile defense ships with some beams. Here, I'll pull them up. So Hornets are short-range defense, double beams, and our Wasps are there are missile defenses with projectiles. And that opens up a whole bunch of options for our larger ships to either go beams or lasers or a combination of all of them, or really whatever we want to do. Alright, once again, all short-range stuff. Just going to go power to the shields and pull these guys over here. Yeah, we'll keep this guy over here. Really what we want to do is just distribute our short range and long range guys effectively, concentrating our long range ships into the middle and our short range ships not in the middle. Yeah, so we can do kind of like this, because we really, even though our guys are optimally short range, we really don't want them engaging, or we want them to not engage the enemy, since he's purely short range, until the last possible moment. Alright, so I think that should be fine. I think this should be just an overwhelming victory. Again, it was indeed, although he did get some shots off, it looks like. Yeah, but not really anything. Yeah, so I did almost 30,000 damage to his 1. These guys never got to close, so I don't understand how these guys took damage, but whatever. Just some probably random missile hit them, or I have no idea. Unfortunately, there's 1 ship left. 1 ship that will easily be taken out by this guy. So I guess the disadvantage of using, putting all of my dudes into 1 giant overwhelming fleet is that you can only do 1 battle per turn. And when the enemy has so many ships, that can be problematic. But easily taken care of, as you saw. No big deal. Alright, so we are still sieging pretty slowly. What I might do is switch my locusts over from these guys, which you can see. Oh, not locusts, what am I talking about? My termites over from these guys, which you can see it can only hold 2, over to a drone class, which can hold a whole bunch more. Let's actually see how much more. No, not those drone classes, worker classes. So you can see they could hold 4 if we slotted them all the way up. And then we would need less or fewer ships, and they can do kind of the same thing. So let's see if we go boom, 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 and throw this down here. So that's 400, so that's 2 for 439 versus our 2 for... Yeah, so these guys are actually going to be more efficient than those. So we're going to delete these termites and make new termites, which are going to be built out of worker class ships. And you really only want to do this once you upgrade these additional slots for the drone class, or the worker class ship. That's the only way that these become more efficient. Alright, and now that we have those, we're going to make some. We're not right there, because this place's production is horrendous. Let's make them down here in Eta. So, drone class ships. And we have another trade outlet to build. I think, let's see, where is going to be a good place? I think, let's see, we want it to incorporate some of our, well, I guess we already have our Eden influence over here, Eden incense over here. So I guess that's our only source. So let's put it here in Geyser. 7K. I bet we can get that by selling resources. Do we already do? Yeah, we just did that recently. Okay, so we'll just hang on to it. Let it build up naturally. Let's prioritize it though. Okay, so I think that's going to be the end of that turn. Moving right along. I think I could probably put together a fleet that could contest this without too much difficulty. You know, 5,000 versus my 5,000 as well. I don't understand. Maybe that's just because I unlocked it using that last tech, and that unlocked this. No, that was this. No. Legendary deeds. 4 star systems. Nope, I don't know where that one came from. Nope, no idea where that one came from. But I've owned more than 4 star systems in the same constellation for quite a while. Okay, so we are sieging up here. Fortunately, these guys have already started with pretty low manpower, so that shouldn't be too hard. Unlike over here, where they all have like 1,000. Pretty annoying. Alright, and we're just going to keep killing these guys, because the AIs don't really know what they're doing. So they're just going to be sending little ships in and then running away, kind of constantly. And this is the problem. This is actually one of the reasons that I really enjoy multiplayer games, and although I've only been able to play a few, that the battle strategies against AIs are just so simple, so almost just brainless, that hopefully when my brother gets back from his business trip and I get back from my business trip, we'll be able to play some together again and actually, you know, go up against each other where it's 2 human brains fighting against each other instead of finding exploitations in the stupidity of the AI. Let's see, so they are decently happy. So let's get them some more science. Science is good. Very good. Alright, and I think that's going to be the end of that turn. So we are... Oh, we still got a little bit more time. Excuse me. Alright, so we got a little bit more time. Great. Now we can enhance our soldier hulls. So it looks like the Horatio Empire is pretty big. They have these 4 systems here, probably 1 more here, so 5, 6, 7, and maybe 1 down here. So this might be actually a fairly drawn-out campaign. It looks like they're going to throw everything they got at us this turn, but it should be fairly easily defeated. Yeah, we've got... Oh, damn. I forgot about that guy. Die honorably, scavenger, with your 0 power. I guess you have 1 gun. Yeah, so we should kill him fairly simply because he can only muster 800, about 900 power to my 3,500. So, yep, again, all short range, just doing power to the shields. Killing him before he can even get to me is the plan. And, ooh, it looks like I was not able to kill Flotilla 1 as quickly as I had hoped, because he double stacked on it. That's the importance of looking at that pregame. I got a little cocky. So these guys, all of my Flotilla 3, were only able to attack Flotilla 2, and so once we killed them very quickly, these guys couldn't kill both Flotilla 1 ships in time for them to close. And since Flotilla 1 starts at medium range, they only had 1 turn to close on them. So that was pretty stupid of me. Should have watched, should have paid more attention. We did get an extra slot here, so I'm going to look if we can, which one we want to use. And I think Get Lucky is probably the fourth best one, especially since we're converting over towards higher level guns. So you can see that these over here have a pretty good, 6% critical hit chance, and then once we upgrade to these, 9%, which is augmented by these, which, plus 10% and plus 10% critical hit chance. And so that's going to get pretty crazy, especially with the 70% multiplier from Get Lucky. So hopefully we'll be able to do some smart stuff over there. Okay, yeah, so what I'm going to do when I'm not being stupid is just abandon Flotilla 1 in those cases. And just don't let them have the, whatever, and since they have no long-range ships, whatever ships they put into Flotilla 1 are just going to be totally useless. Because, if there's no ships in Flotilla 1 and they have no long-range weapons, then I'll just pick at them from Flotilla 2. So I think that's definitely the better plan. That was kind of stupid of me. As I said, I got a little cocky. Little penisy, as my brother likes to call it. And lost some ships for it. Okay, so these guys are done with that. Let's have them build this culture center and colonial rights. And it looks like we need some more people, and they are filled up. So let's grab another feeding pits real quick so we can keep on getting our happiness. And I'm wondering if our feeding pits happiness will go from 25 up to 50, because if it does, that would be really interesting. Then we can have this breeding planet or whatever. And if you can gain one person every turn, then you can just use a feeding pits every turn and just stack up tons and tons and tons and tons of happiness. I'm not sure it's going to work like that, but that's the experiment that we're going to do. And then after that, we can grab some more manpower, to help supply our fleets. Okay, these guys down here, let's clear out some of these pirates that have been annoying me. Power to shields. They want to close, they can close. They did not, oh, they did want to close. Interesting. So my mantises are awesome. Okay, how's the siege going? 2 turns. Okay, how's this? These guys still need to do their battle. Again, it's pretty much pointless. Again, I'm going to do the same thing over here as I was talking about over there, and we're just going to abandon Flotilla 1. It's going to give them damage bonuses, but it's really not important, because so basically we're getting parity, so I have things in Flotilla 3 but nothing in Flotilla 1. They have Flotilla 1 but not in 3. But since I have long range damage and they don't, I'll be able to shoot their Flotilla 1 and Flotilla 2, or only the ships in Flotilla 2 will be able to shoot me. And you're going to see that this is going to be a much more advantageous victory. I lost 0 ships and probably took 0 damage. Yep, 0 damage, because these 3 ships were completely useless. Alright, so that is what we're going to do in the future. It's sometimes okay to give your enemy the morale bonus if you think it's going to neutralize some of their ships, because the 10% morale bonus is just going to be outweighed by all of the ships that they just lose effectiveness for. Alright, we're getting pretty close to our soft 30-minute time limit. So I'm probably going to do one last turn and then wrap up this episode. Okay, so he just keeps sending dudes in. It's actually a fairly formidable army, but again, I think just his choice of doing all short-range weapons. Yeah, so he's continuing with, ooh, those are some medium weapons. But yeah, just a vast majority of short-range weapons is really just killing them. So we're just going to stick with this abandoning Flotilla 1, and focusing solely on flotillas 2 and 3. What I am going to do is pull one mantis to flotilla 3 since he has distribution in all of them, and hopefully that will allow us to do this just a little bit better. Yes. Let me think. Well, he does seem to have a little bit more distribution now. So I think I'm going to do barrage fire instead of power to shields, to hopefully kill off his guys at long range as much as possible. Alright, so let's do that. And I think this should still work okay. Yes, it did. Oh, I lost my drone, which is a little bit unfortunate, but I did a whole bunch of damage to him. Okay. So yeah, once again, if we look at the advanced details, he stacked up his short-range guys up here. I guess one of his short-range guys up here. And so this guy was completely negated by me just abandoning Flotilla 1. Alright, yep, and so then once we took out Flotilla 2, these guys could then focus fire over here on Flotilla 1, and then also help out these guys over here. So I think that was the correct choice. You know, the 10% damage, 5% accuracy is kind of a hit, but in the end, not a big deal. How did this guy get past me? Ugh, irritating. Irritating. So let's just hold off on this stuff. Get our support fleet back online. Wow, these guys have really good production. Really, really good production. Oh, yeah, let's check if this happens. It does. It stacks. Oh my gosh, that's incredible. That explains so much. So what we have to do is not maintain happiness from buildings, but through population. So we need this kind of slave population being churned out in all of our places, and then just keep eating them like every turn or every other turn or something like that. And that's how we're going to counteract the happiness problem. That's super interesting. I didn't think it was going to stack, but since it does, oh my god, the possibilities, guys. The possibilities. I'm super pumped about it. I haven't used feeding pits that much, but they're so good. Because yeah, like that's 50 happiness just from sacrificing those 2 population, and you know, we got up to a full population anyways. So really, really strong. Alright, but with that, we've hit our 30-minute time limit. I'm going to end this turn, go through all of the stupid starting panels that always pop up, and then I'm going to close down this episode. So thank you all for joining me once again, and I hope I'll see you for episode 10. Have a good one.